Jack Willard here. As I say, I go away for a day and there's bats in my belfry. And kind of afraid of bats, so I'm not good at shooing them away. Andy is good at shooing them away, but he's down for the count tonight, I think. So I can't get him to fix this. So can you? Apparently, the other stream went down, right? I was able to pull that down. So Elaine is here. Good, 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 good. I can't access the computer now. I don't think. I'll try to see what I wanted to see to help me along with the show. But obviously, some of it I can do off the top of my head. Um, and he'll fix this, and by Saturday, it should be fine. He just wanted to clean out all the dust and what have you. And I think he forgot to reset stuff. So we have 5 watching and 1 like that I know of so far. Hey, Tim Spencer, welcome. It's funny when I'm on here and somebody just says hi or something, they put it in the present tense. If Elaine Peterson says, hey, Jack, that's in real time. But with you, Tim, it says you said hi. So that kind of stuff I'll never be able to figure out. Um, hello, Heather again. HOB, how you doing? Adam Davidson, how's it going, Adam? How you been feeling? What's been going on in your world that you want to share? We had to go to phone, and thank you, Heather, for suggesting that, because that's about all we have left here tonight. As I say, though, by Saturday, we should have it all ironed out. You can't expect to never um, have an issue, Have an issue? Grab a tissue. Patrick Wilburn is here, and Nancy B. Good evening, everybody, says Patrick. How are you, Jack, says Nancy B. Hanging in there. Well, I hope you're going to flourish. Hi, Marty Greco. What's going on with you? Welcome, Marty. Nice to see you aboard. I'll be holding the phone here for for our program tonight. I don't know how many people we lost in that mix because we had more than 10. But I never thought to do a check of I didn't think until about 9:30 that I wanted to go to OBS, which is where we do the pre-recorded videos and then load them to YouTube. I never thought to do a check of live and what have you, and make sure everything was okay with OBS. If I would have done that, hours ago, and he would have had time to fix it, but I didn't think there would be any problem. So that's a story there. So I'm glad we're able to do this for a little while. Let's see here. Pam Donnelly. It'll be all right, Jack. I don't know. I'm going to need my Xanax now. Maybe a gummy. Could be. Well, here's somebody new asking a deep question. It's a good one, though. I'm just going to call you Zim and try to pronounce the rest of that. If you knew how you were going to die, how would you live your life differently? Well, it'd be completely differently, wouldn't it? I would be in a state of terror, thinking that I have failed God too many times and I've been too divided in my interest. And now I've got a limited amount of hours to beg for forgiveness, call those I love, or try to. Brad just yawn loud down there. I don't think you could hear that, but I got the vent closed, so I don't think it's too loud for him. But it's not like he ever thinks about other people in terms of volume, unless we yell at them, which we've had to do a number of times over the years, no matter what time of the day it is. Um, so what I would do, Zim. I would immediately go into deep prayer. So why don't I just do that, and stop being, the last thing you want to do with your faith is be lukewarm. That's the I'll spit you out temperature setting, So either be cold or hot, preferably hot, but don't be cold. I think you're trying to say, I hear you, don't worry. Is that what you're saying, Zim? Robin Roman joins us. Well, you asked a very good question because and it's one, of course, I've heard preachers talk about and other people. Don't forget to share. Yes. Um, 30 people watching, 5 likes via phone tonight because I have bats in my belfry with the studio computer. We went away for one day, and then um, this afternoon I did check the computer, see how it seemed to be running, but I never thought to do a check of the OBS system um, because I wait till I have my background set up. I wait till I have my background set up. There's my other picture, and there's the other one. I wait till I have my background set up, and then I want to check the camera angle. So that's what I did. I went to OBS to look at it there and adjusted adjusted the camera. It was not, as I figured, it was not where it should be. And then I realized I was stuck in OBS land and I can't go live. Eventually, I got it down and we were able to set up and go live via our main computer. And then all of a sudden, things froze. And there was never a count on the screen. So there's something, there's stuff that has to be done that is far over my head. 40 watching right now and 6 likes. Please subscribe and like and hit the notification bell. By Saturday, we should have this all worked out. Good to have Robin Roman here. Rita, lovely Rita Maid. I feel like the little mole and the old cartoon. What happened? What happened? I don't remember that cartoon, Rita. You must watch strange cartoons. Didn't you watch Bugs Bunny and Deputy Dog? Roadrunner? Ah, yes. Teresa Panel is here. I just want to put flair into that name because it's your stage name here, Hi again, LOL. Nancy B. Well, lively Rita Meter Maid. Well, that works too, I suppose, Nancy B. Um, Rocky Mountain Red Wing is here. I always forget your real name, Rocky Mountain. I think I got it though, but I could be wrong. I could be crazy, but then again, it may just be a lunatic you're looking for. Um, Bugs Bunny is my favorite. Well, he was a good actor. He was a good actor, but he also cheated death. He could be flat as a pancake and then just come back to healthy living, be a healthy rabbit all over again. A lot of violence in those cartoons, remember? But we survived. We didn't all become serial killers. Just Neo. Neo's not here tonight? Neo, you're not here? Um, Hello, Jack from OB, Mississippi. OB? Old Brooklyn. Yes, Old Brooklyn, Mississippi. I got it now. You should have your own radio show, says Blue. Well, radio's kind of dead, you know. Now, if you mean talk radio, which still survives, that's a glutted field. And, the thing about doing radio talk live is you're only one call away from sounding like a complete idiot when somebody starts to refer, say, to the World War II, and your knowledge is extremely limited because I have a GED, and I didn't spend a lot of time in history class, so I didn't realize that it was much of a disadvantage when I was doing radio shows every day from 1977. The last one I did was in 2018, and that was on the internet, a reboot of the classic New York station WHN. But I certainly worked at a number of radio stations starting in 77. I wasn't on all the time, but I was on, there were years when I was on all the time. And then there were times when I took a little break, but I'd always find my way back. Yeah, I'm here in New York, and I got to work for a legend who, what's the date today? The 15th. He's 10 days away from turning 90 years old. Cousin Bruce Morrow. I got to work for him starting in December of 1980. He eventually sold his interest in the station because it's right down the street. He and his partner, the late Robert F.X. Sillerman, who would go on to become a billionaire, owned a piece of American Idol. And then his biggest acquisition was to buy the name Elvis Presley. Isn't that funny? I'll tell you what, isn't that funny? I think I'm going to save the Bob Joyce topic for pre-recorded video rather than I'll just say a few things here. I don't want to totally cheat you out of that and or pretend that I have brilliant things to say. I mean, my observations could be your observations as well, because a lot of people here know the topic. Where are you watching from, Blue? Are you an alien? You have an alien logo. Thumbnail? No, not a thumbnail. Icon? I'll find something. Cousin Brucey was an icon. Absolutely, and still is. Jupiter's Realm. Hello, Elaine Peterson, and hello to Robin Roman. The heck with Jack. I get it. I see how it is with you, Jupiter's Realm. And Robin Roman is letting us know that Rocky Mountain Red Wing is in need of a car. So is Alec Baldwin's wife, since he destroyed it by hitting a tree. Blames it all on a garbage truck. The garbage truck almost. If he didn't hit the tree, he would have hit the garbage truck. I don't know. That's a hard call. Hard call, says the announcer. I am a graduate of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I should be able to say the word call. I did have trouble with certain words regularly. See, I still can't say it. I would, when I was doing pre recorded commercials and regularly was in there, I would change it to normally priced at. Normally, this week at Broadloom City. They've got beautiful Berber carpet, just $69 a yard. That's expensive, right? Normally priced at 112. Stuff like that. Hey there, Jack. Hi, Jupiter's Realm. Thank you for noticing my existence here. Hi, Nancy. I'm not lively. You're not lively? We got a lot of people with maladies here. This is what Millicent from Dark Shadows had. It was wonderfully played by Nancy Barrett, who's now in Phoenix, Arizona. Little Millicent was very fragile. She had many maladies, many maladies. HOB, are you here, Heather? She sent me a story I knew about that the Seaview Terrace mansion in Newport, Rhode Island, is for sale for 28 million in case anybody would like to pick it up. I'd like it if somebody from my audience bought it because then you'd invite me over and I could see what was used only for exterior of the Dark Shadow series, which is not nothing. They definitely did some outside shooting in the very beginning, actually before the show hit air. They did pre-filming up in Newport, Rhode Island, and but eventually they would use the Lyndhurst Mansion in Tarrytown for like House of Dark Shadows. But more than anything, they used a studio at the corner of 53rd and 8th in New York City. Wish I had gone, but I wasn't a Dark Shadows fanatic until the pandemic. So, so everybody pray tonight. Remember to pray for Brenda Noyce, who's going into the hospital at 6 a.m. tomorrow. God bless you, Brenda. I will remember you in my prayers tonight, and everyone that's a praying person here, please do. Here's Vinnie Maru for you. Um, where are you, Vinny? You go away so fast. Wondered why everything got quiet. Just realized you switched. Yes, I used to smoke Marlboros, but now I smoke Viceroy. I have a feeling, though, this pack of cigarettes that I'm smoking, Vinny, is about 30 years old. Viceroy. Oh my goodness. Those crazy people that smoke the red Pall Malls with no filter. And what was the other one? What was the other one? I can't remember it, but I know it. The other one is what um, someone who was a radio legend who was at my 1985 wedding, Mark West, smoked no filter cigarettes. Sometimes he would buy tobacco and papers and roll his own because DJs were notoriously poor, you know. But I actually worked for Mark as my last radio station in 2018. Uh, internet station WHN, and WHN was once a big New York station, but he was able to use the call letters. So over the years, I would beg Mark when I would see him to stop smoking, and he said, "Why? So I don't get those last few years when I'm going to the bathroom in a diaper in a nursing home." Well, I was with him as he was dying, not the when he actually passed away, but real close to it at the hospital. He had had a stroke, and he could barely speak, barely speak. I talked to him, but he went earlier than he thought he would. Earlier than he thought he would. I guess he was younger than me, so he would have been probably about 65 when he died, something like that, I think. But he would never listen. Just smoke those cigarettes, smoke, 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 and eventually it got him. And I remember being in the room and the nurse, a male nurse, was calling him Buddy, and I wanted to say that's his name isn't Buddy. His name is Mark West, and there are thousands of people over the years that have been entertained by him and listened to him for information and what have you. He's a somebody, and you just don't know it. You just don't know it. So don't smoke cigarettes. And if you do smoke a cigar just once in a great while to celebrate something, the pulmonologist said, well, if it's a celebration every once in a while, that's okay. But don't smoke cigarettes at any cost. Go back a little because it's going pretty quick here. Here's Leah. Hello from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. Well, you're going to have to say hello to Caitlin Caparelli down there and her husband Chipper. I don't know what her husband's name is, but he's a songwriter, and she's a great singer who was on American Idol for like 5 weeks. Sang a duet with Christina Aguilera because Christina really liked her, so she sang with her at some point, and but she didn't make it all the way because That guy who sang that song Happy, how many hits has he had? Da, da, da. It's a good song. And I'm happy and da 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 da. He voted her off in favor of somebody he liked, you know. So that was that. But you can find her right here on YouTube. Just look up Caitlin Caparelli. You can see her video with Christina Aguilera, etc., etc. Um, Here's Heather, yes. And I'm just seeing if I missed any comments. Going back a little bit. Oh, I guess we got it. I guess we're in good shape. So, thank you, Jody. I see it somewhere. Here's Vinny. Wondered why everything had gone quiet. Just realized you switched. Yes, I already commented on that, didn't I, Vinny? I was going to read your poem tonight, but now I can't access it because my computer is just acting weird. It's weird, man. It's weird. Thank you, Jody Smith, for hitting the thanks button. That'll be especially appreciated tonight. 199, 199 on the thanks button. With that said, I'm going to try to at least be able to look at the computer. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to try to go live on it again, though, because when something like that happens, it means that Andy's got to check into something and readjust things and whatever he does. I don't try to pretend that I'm a tech person, you know. But I was able to at least start the stream. I gave it the old college try. Never went to college, but I do kind of like the Beatles. Was sitting on the other video. It's funny. But it did go down, right? I wouldn't have been able to come on here live if I had not gotten that to go down. Not that I have any skill. Mark Burrow, Nancy B says that's clever. Yeah. I mean, he was like the Dr. Johnny Fever type, the type that if anyone was ever going to sleep at the radio station, that would be Mark if they didn't throw him out or if the boss didn't tell him never do that again. He was one of those guys, a real radio guy. And if he had his own studio where he, at one point he was doing the morning show on the local station, but he was doing it remotely from a studio that he rented, and he had a bed in that little. He wasn't supposed to sleep there. It was an office, you know, but he had a bed there and ended up sleeping there all the time. The life of a poor DJ back then, you know. That's why I had to become a pretend peace officer with the city of New York at the homeless men's shelter, because I was never, certainly at the level I was at, I was never going to be able to support a family on that money. Then I switched to part-time radio and worked up in Chester, New York, for the city of New York, outside the city, and I did that for 19 years. I looked like a New York cop, but I didn't have a gun, and I sure didn't have the skill of a New York cop. So I learned what I had to do. But I was worth something there. I mean, I was on post when I was supposed to be. I wasn't trying to catch the bad guys and see if they're smoking a joint or something, which is now totally legal in New York. So my computer says it's working on updates, 96% complete. Don't turn off your computer. I won't. Probably wouldn't go off anyway. But maybe I'll be able to see emails, you know. I don't know. We shall see. Dad smoked Winston. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should, right? I better be careful. To sound like I'm really promoting smoking when believe me, I'm not. I'm not. Does anyone else notice customer service sucks and people are out to lunch lately? Is this just a general statement? Well, this is the XYZs that have come into play, Rocky Mountain High. Yeah, I mean, this is where, they have this sullen look at, say you're at the grocery store and say you didn't use the self checkout, which they damn well wish you would, making them work. They don't mind standing there doing nothing, but you had to get on their line, because the old people protest self checkout. Not all of them, but some do, and they just won't do it. And then they want the manager. And I have been this route myself when I think a manager is not doing his job. Uh, I remember a few instances, and I'm not the type to do that kind of thing. But there are certain things when I see a manager, when there's a line of 6 or 7 people at one open register, when I know corporate has already told me that there's supposed to be a minimum of two open, that motivates me. That gets my dander up. It gets my dander up. And I remember this one guy who was talking to probably an employee he had been training, and he's not noticing anything. And I said, it'd be nice if the front end manager would do his job. Oh, well, he was an XYZer, and they can't take that kind of criticism. I just embarrassed him, which I normally wouldn't do. But it just went on for so long. I just blurted that out. I just blurted that out. And then he said, oh, yeah, the baby boomer generation. He came right back at me, which I admired, actually. I didn't mind that either. He's obviously accurate, but really, is it only the baby boomers that want some customer service? I think not. I think not. Um, yeah, going down the list here. Jody Smith hit the thanks button for another $1. You see it right there. I guess you do on your screen. I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing. I'm going to try to go to. I'm going to try to go to email here if I can get into this computer. Because I got stuff to tell you. I do. But it throws you when tech problems occur. It throws you. So thank you again, Jody Smith. And no cigars. How about a pipe? That'll give you the lip cancer there, Elaine. That's what they always said. I used to do that, a little bit when I was much, 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 much younger, either Middleton's Cherry Blend or Captain Black. Captain Black, either the blue or the gold pouch, I'm thinking. Oh, what is this telling me now? Oh, how do you answer a question like that? I'm going to say no to that. But then again, it's just spinning around. I wonder if he must have put the new router number in there. We have a new router. That's another thing because Andy is paying that bill now. And I'm very proud of him for that. Rhonda Deet. Ho, as in Gene Ho. Okay. I will be listening, have to feed my critters. Being hounded. I know what that's like. Oh, yeah. Because we don't just feed Willie Loomis downstairs, who's a spoiled little pampered poochie who's really a cat. But we feed a lot of feral animals, a lot of feral animals, including about 7 or 8 cats. There's four that had a litter. I mean, one, the black cat Suki. We name all the cats from Dark Shadows characters. Suki Forbes, it would be. Um, she had cats with Tabby, who actually stayed around and looked after the kids a little bit. When do you ever see a male cat do that? But we were able to trap the kittens, and Trap Tabby got caught. He, I don't think he was happy. I wasn't there. It was the guys next door that did it. But uh, they all got fixed, and then they brought them right back here. The four kittens. Mama cat got trapped again. We had already previously got her fixed, so Tabby couldn't get her pregnant again. And then Tabby, they said was like 10 years old. He's been a Don Juan for 10 years old. He's had enough rendezvous, made enough children, I think. Enough little kittens. And it's not like he has a job. So we got them all fixed. And then they brought him back here. But certainly Tabby doesn't want to be living in a house. The four kittens, maybe. We'll see as it gets cold. But next door they have an igloo. Well, it was our igloo. We gave them the dog igloo, and he fixed that up nice, and it's got straw and other stuff to keep them semi-warm. But when it's 12 degrees, that ain't gonna help. They ain't gonna help. Here's Todd Bradshaw back with us. I still have some of my pipes. I cannot find a good cherry almond tobacco. I've never heard of cherry almond tobacco, Todd. It was always that Middleton's cherry blend for me. Smell good, didn't it? Remember that in the 70s? But I do love a pipe in the winter. Okay, yeah. The only thing I've done in recent years was a pipe in the spring, summer. And then I thought, well, I'm not really treating the sleep apnea as I should. I'm trying to sleep elevated. So it's probably not a good idea to be smoking a cigar, even though it was only a couple a month, and only when it's warm. I'm not going to freeze out there. I like to just leisurely enjoy a cigar, which I dip in honey. I roll around in honey, put it in me mouth. I put it right in me mouth. Yeah. Here's Neil. Didn't even get a notification you were even on. Well, it's a long story, Neil, but it doesn't surprise me because I was gone for a day. I'll talk about that if you want me to. And during that time, Andy pulled the computer and he took it downstairs and he vacuumed all the dust out and what have you, and set it back here. And I didn't think to do a test like 6 hours ago, but he must have forgotten to do a couple of things. Because first my OBS, which I use for pre-recorded videos, was stuck. I couldn't get it down. You can't go live if the OBS tab is open. Excuse me. Oh, that's right. That is funny. I went to turn my volume down, but I'm on the phone. It's only a matter of time before I'm tied to a chair in front of the nurse's station. I'm not going to be happy about that. I'm telling you, Vinny, I'm not going to be happy about that. Real Genius, starring Jack, the fair guy. Oh, Elaine Peterson, what's becoming of me? Thumbs up. Yes, hit the notification bell. Hit the thumbs up if you like anything at all, but why would you tonight? Hugo, Lost in Town. When a favor is shown to a white man, he feels it is. I'm just going to read this silently. Well, I love Indians. I can tell you that much, Hugo. The myth that Republicans, certainly Christian Republicans, have anything against Indians. I just heard Trump today saying that the Indian, is he a prime minister over there or is he a president? I'm not sure. I can't remember. He said they get along great. He loves me. So good things can happen good things can happen, but he really wants India to stop buying oil from Russia because he's trying to stop this conflict over there that could lead to World War III, and the whole thing is not good. I don't really believe President Trump should be selling Tomahawk missiles to the Ukraine. And by the way, who's giving them the money to buy them? All of a sudden, remember with Biden, it was always, I got to have another 50 million, $100 million, and nothing ever happened to even slow down the war from the Russia side, except they did turn out to be not as skilled as they thought they were. But all he has to do is press a button and we won't be able to stop it. So keep that in mind. He doesn't want to do that unless he's crazy or finds out he has a terminal illness. And I guess all bets are off. You have to be somewhat crazy to be him, right? Um, Thanks, Robin. All right. Well, it's not YouTube. It's the fact that something was not set properly for my live broadcast, and OBS is another problem. Jack, Jack, I think with Trump, the tide is starting to turn in good favor. Amen for that. Well, the people that hate him will hate him forever. He could come up with a cure for cancer. Um, you know, no matter what he does, they're going to hate him. And I mean, these don't tend to be bright people. I mean, do you think Hakeem Jeffries is a perceptive, great leader? There were some Democrats in the past that were, that's for sure. That's for sure. So yeah, the weapons thing, but he's not. I thought he had made a definite decision on that, and today he seemed to indicate that he had not. But he's done so many wonderful things as well. Would he have a studio set up in the steam tunnels of a college access radio? I started on an intercom college station. That was actually the first radio show I ever did. I took a course at OC just so I could be on the college station. And I'm sure they hated me right away because they wanted to probably hear Led Zeppelin. And here I was playing Casey and the Sunshine Band and Get Down Tonight. I'd love to have that tape. I'd love to have that tape. Talk about listener free radio. You know, it's only went through the intercom around the campus of Orange County Community College. Jack, you and I are a lot alike, says Elaine Peterson. Oh, you can't be that messed up. You can't be that messed up. I just don't believe it, Elaine Peterson. All in the customer service that we have been. All is the customer service that we have been dealt. God does 15 better? What? What? Rita, I just looked and its closest airport is in Aspen. I think you're talking to somebody else there. Fancy Nancy DeMarco. Hello, hello, hello. Helen McDonald is from Australia. Yes. Jane Justice joins us as well. Neo, probably say something off the wall. They may have had server issues. Well, yeah, that's separate from, I'm pretty sure that's separate from what's going on with me. This is something related to Andy taking the computer and vacuuming it out and forgetting to put some settings in or something. So let's see. Can I get to email at least? Guessing yes, but you know, you know what happens. I don't know if you saw that. I leaned in towards a mic that is not going to work. The mic is in the phone. Oh boy. Hey, here's Gloria Drummond. Jesus is the only answer. That's her channel right here at YouTube. 53 watching that I know of, 22 likes. If you like anything, please hit the like button, the notification bell. If you can hit the thanks button, that would be great as well. Or the Cash App is the other way. I'm going to do a little content, a little preview, and your thoughts and comments on the topic of Bob Joyce in Coleman, Alabama, or other stuff are welcome. Are welcome. Jack, in my town, they are trying to raise our property taxes. I'm so sick of it. Pretty soon we will not be able to afford our home. Yeah, well, here in New York, you know. Um, and people, once you hit 62 years old, you shouldn't be paying school taxes. I'm okay up until 62, even if you didn't have children, because it enriches your community and what have you, I guess, obviously. And so I'm okay. But after 62, you shouldn't have to pay school taxes. Anybody have that where they are no school taxes after a certain age, or never school taxes? There's got to be. Um, I just forgot I've got to hold the phone up or. Talking about Southeast Aurora, close to Southlands Mall. We have a new mall in New Jersey now that to walk the entire mall is 7 miles. Anybody hear about that? I'm not talking about Mall of America out there in, where is it? Minnesota, Michigan, wherever it is. Um, which really surprised me that there'd be a new mall in New Jersey that is that big, because most malls are losing stores right and left. They can't afford to stay in business. So since I don't know what part of New Jersey it is yet, I haven't looked it up, but if it's not too crazy far, I think Karen's going to want to go to that mall. I know she is. I'll blame it on her, right? Cherry, vanilla, or buttercream smells good. That's a Neo statement. Vinny Maru, I'm back. You crack me up with that Don Juan line, Jack. Yeah, well, Tabby, as we call him. I don't know what they call him over there, but we call him Tabby. He is a tabby, so we call him Tabby. Um, yeah, he's had an active life, but I do have to hand it to him that after the kittens were born, Tabby would sometimes go over there and act like a father. And I thought, well, that's really cool. But we had to get Suki Forbes fixed, because as soon as she was able to, um, Tabby would have went in for seconds, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So we feed all these cats, and it's not it's not cheap. My feral was out there too, waiting on me. Oh, they wait on you. You're right about that, Vinny. They wait on you, and I know Todd Bradshaw feeds feral animals too. Do you feed the raccoons? Anybody feed the raccoons? We do. We do. And you never know who they are, because they always wear a mask. Uh, no, Jack, no nursing home. Exactly. Exactly. Well, just between you and me, Karen wouldn't want to lose that check. You know what I'm saying? She ain't giving that check to a nursing home. No, I'll just be neglected here. I'm just kidding. Uh, I'm just kidding. She's sleeping. She won't ever see this. Um, Neo's still talking about his tech problems on YouTube. Marty sure found them. What did he find, Vinny? We're not talking about he found feral animals, are we? Well, here's a name that's totally unpronounceable, but that's just because, I only have a GED. Um, how are you? First time? Um, Foddy? Foddy? I'm sure I blew that. I won't even try the second one. Hi. Where are you watching us from, huh? Where are you watching us from? Always love to know that. Um, Did you guys see Nancy Pelosi telling a reporter to shut up? She is a nasty person. She used to, and I'm sure still does, say how nasty Trump was. Trump has mellowed out now and knows how to handle the press. Magnifico, magnifico. But she's been nasty forever. Forever. She said she was going to retire. Then she was going to stay for the kids. What? So she could make sure, we could have plenty of abortions. Another one like Joe Biden, Catholic. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, Marianne. Come on, Marianne. No, 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 no. She's just a mean, bitter person. And thank God, she's no longer the speaker. Oi. Um, Neo is saying his usual wild stuff. But I do remember that line. I think I remember that line from Back to the Future, one of them. So, 55 watching. Okay, let's see if I can get into email here. I don't need this microphone, so just put it away, Jack. It's not going to work. And remember, you're on camera, so you cannot forget that part that you're holding a camera with your hand, which is, I can't do it with my toes. I used to when I was younger. I could hold the camera with my toes. Um, there are some people that can't use their hands, their arms, that paint with their toes. Johnny Erickson Tata is one of them. Oh boy, I always my heart goes out to someone like that who. Well, look at that. I'm on email, and the first thing I see is hitting the Cash App, and I'm very grateful to that. I really am. Which is lowercase letters Media Guy 56, Media Guy 56. Todd Bradshaw sent you $25 for the Kitty Treat Fund. Yeah, they rely on it, Todd. You know this, right? We're talking raccoons, we're talking feral cats. There's a all white, pretty much all white. I don't get too close to him, and he only comes out. He's nocturnal, and he's skittish. You don't want him to be skittish when you're standing next to him. It's a white skunk. Have you seen one, guys? Have you seen one? All white, almost all white skunk. And I try to come out real quietly and throw some food to him, but he just runs away. I'm far enough back on the top of the stairs that I don't think he can get me. But I'm trying to be his friend and say, you can be loved too. You're very cute. When I worked as a peace officer up in Camp LaGuardia, which was a former women's prison at one time, the skunks just walked amongst us. All the clients fed them, you know. They were the best fed skunks, and they would just walk right past you. And the only thing is the babies. You had to watch out. They didn't know about this. They didn't know everything was cool for skunks at Camp LaGuardia. So you had to watch out for them. But the clients would feed them all the time, all the time. So thank you, Todd Bradshaw. I'm looking into the other camera. Thank you, Todd Bradshaw, for hitting the Cash App for $25, lowercase letters Media Guy 56. And thank you, Jupiter's Realm, for hitting the Cash App for $10. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that so much. And there's Elaine Peterson. I should have known. She does this all the time. Elaine Peterson, a little earlier, doesn't say what time for some reason. Elaine Peterson hit the Cash App for $10 as well. Thank you. Again, I'm looking into the wrong camera. Oh boy. So there you go. It's not YouTube, Neo. How can I explain to you? It's not YouTube. I mean, I can't say for sure it has nothing to do with it, but since the problem started in OBS, we shall see. We shall see. But obviously, if they had problems hours ago, they would have fixed it by now. No? Neil? No? So there you go. So just do a little bit of content on what was to be our subject matter, and I'll probably put in the heading here, digesting, not that he's an edible food, Pastor Bob Joyce, although there have been women that thought that and still do. Digesting Bob Joyce in Alabama, and then comments about our mad world. I remember the title. It's a mad world. I remember that movie in the 60s. Phil Silvers was in there, right? He was one of them. But what can we say? What can we say? It was an awesome time. It was an awesome time. Capacity crowd. And I was told, because I had at least 3 or 4 audience members there and other people that kind of talked to me that were there, giving me their perspective. They were saying there were women crying. There's somebody here right now, I think they could testify if that's true, crying as Pastor Bob was singing, more towards the back or whatever, I don't know. And security was incredibly tight. You were told to keep seated. I don't think they meant you couldn't go to the bathroom. I don't think they were saying that, although they did have an intermission, right? But, if you need to go, you need to go. It could be bad if you didn't. You have a much older audience, but there was some young people too. A few kids even, I understand. And a lot of people were there. The praise team. Now, I don't have this officially verified. I do want to find out something, though, since I think I'm able to do this. See. No, that name doesn't work. I think it's Vern that was there. Because there was no Leroy in Earth, Wind, and Fire, the computer is telling me. The computer is telling me there was no Leroy in Earth, Wind, and Fire. There's been members that come and go, then there's the 4 main members that are really Earth, Wind, and Fire. And it's not Vern. It's Verdine White. Verdine White. Several sources told me that Verdine White, who's one of the founding members, there are 4 founding members, not 3 as some people would think, Philip Bailey, and then Verdine, and I'm forgetting the other 2 names right now. Everybody remembers Philip Bailey. He was kind of the standout in terms of having solo hits, or, he did a duet with Phil Collins, Easy Lover. Easy Lover. She's an easy lover. You know that song. But Verdine White was the bass player and a founding member of Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think he wrote some music. And, several people told me that Verdine White is the drummer at Household of Faith, including at the Sunday service this past week, which was a very good sermon, right, on Noah, and was the drummer at the Coleman, Alabama event. The bass player, you think the story isn't bizarre. The bass player for Earth, Wind, and Fire is Bob Joyce's drummer. Is that true? I mean, I heard that from another creator. Not that I saw, I guess I'll say his video, and I'm not talking about Matt. That kind of narrows it down a little bit. But I heard it from another creator that Burdine was there and he was playing drums. Now, it's not uncommon for a musician. When I did a search, it said that Burdine doesn't play drums, but he has a brother who does. To add to the mystery. But that may not be updated. I mean, think about it. Every one of the Beatles can play keyboards. I realize we only have Paul and Ringo left now. We'll be doing a tour in 2026. But Ringo can play keyboards. We know Mr. McCartney can, but Lennon was the one who sat down at the keyboard when they were struggling for an open for Obla Di, Obla Da, and started playing the opening riff on the piano. And they thought, well, there it is. Lennon was a genius, so he could play some keyboard, and Harrison too. They all could. So, Keith Richards plays keyboards, but he's not going to do it during a Rolling Stones concert. He's going to be on the guitar, of course, So I found that very interesting. Let me just keep up with the comments here. Sorry, I had to bail on Saturday, Jack. Yeah, I was at work. Hey, you said that. And I was certainly understanding of that. I'm not sure exactly what you do, but when you got to work, you got to work. You can't say, "Well, I'm watching Worldwide Ramblings now," or I would. Sounds like Karen likes to shop. Me too. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. What am I going to say? No. Yeah, she does. The Amazon people know where we live, And Andy's been buying some things lately. Jack, they opened a new ice cream shop where I live. The service, the service is, it's fresh made ice cream daily. Yeah. Yeah, we have a place, I don't know about daily, but we have a place, I guess they're closed for the season now, called Blueberry Mountain here. And that's what they were known for. And it wasn't cheap. So yeah, I'm all for homemade ice cream, but I'm trying to stay away from that stuff. But in terms of the regular stuff for a hot fudge sundae or something like that, Carvel has always been the jam for me, and I know a lot of you don't have one anywhere near you. When I travel, I don't see Carvel. It's weird to me. 50 watching right now. Please hit the subscribe, the like button, the notification bell. If you can hit the thanks button for a couple of dollars, that would help too as we try to get the total up. I had, some somewhat successful videos based on Coleman, Alabama, but they didn't go huge on me. So please watch those videos on Pastor Bob. We've got some roll-in video of Pastor Bob, and I wish you would like it and share it if you can. It's got music in it, so you won't be able to share it on YouTube. Facebook. You won't be able to do that. I've taken care of feral litters. Yeah, that's what we have now, a litter, but it's the guys next door that are doing it. Took them in to get them fixed too. You got the trap and they fell for it, huh? Raccoons and possums. I know that a possum comes up here once in a while and eats. They are like, I guess I'm just not cute enough for you to love me. I feel bad for possums, They're not looking to attack you or anything. They're just hungry. So when we put out stuff on the lawn, I'm hoping that they get a little bit too. But sure, the skunk will come, and I also feel really bad for chipmunks because they usually tend up living in the garage, and then they come out, and if there's a cat or they are prey for everyone. Those poor little cute chipmunks, um, just sad. So yeah, that's what we did here. Now there's another cat, and of course we named him after a Dark Shadows character, Roger Collins. We think he has a home though, but we don't think he's fixed. I think he's got love on his mind. I think he got love on his mind, and Tabby and him don't get along. Now that Tabby's fixed, Roger Collins is probably making fun of him, so it's going to get even worse. He's going to say they chopped your off. Oh dear. Raccoons are cool though. They're cool. Yeah, but here we are a year or two ago feeding a pregnant raccoon, and then one day I come out and here comes that raccoon, and behind her are like five babies. Five babies. How did they all get in there? And she's very proud. First of all, she's showing them where the food is. She doesn't realize that those babies are eventually going to be competition for her and push her out of the way. She's showing them where the food is, but five and her, oh my goodness. But she was so proud standing there with her family. It was just so cool. It was so cool. Anchor Stores experiences and destinations are what get malls to thrive now. I don't know about Anchor Stores, but J.C. Penney is still holding on here. I'll be interested to see what's in that New Jersey mall. Around Christmas time, yeah, but February, it's Ghost Town. No, I have seen the Raccoon Whisperer. No, I have seen the Raccoon Whisperer guy on YouTube. I'll have to check that out. He gets tons of them. Oh boy. Is he nuts or just crazy? I never know what you're reacting to, Elaine. I try to be amusing. Doesn't always work. I have a beautiful Siamese boy named Cairo. Siamese cats are beautiful. 21 years old. I didn't ever know of a Siamese cat that lived that long, but we had Herb. Herb was about 23 when he died, and his wife, Hazel, was about 25. About 25, and to tell you the truth, it was just that quality of life was slipping away, and we had to bring her to the vet. Three severed heads. Hi, Jack. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? We're doing it on the phone tonight, so I'm very limited. I have bats in my computer belfry, especially as it pertains to YouTube and OBS. OBS. So, we've been talking about Pastor Bob Joyce, but I'm just giving you a little bit of what I'll do in a pre-recorded video as soon as I get OBS working, because we got sidetracked when we froze. It took some getting on to get YouTube, and then we froze a few minutes into it. I guess you can see the first part of that up. I can't handle watching politics or news anymore. I just don't do it. I understand people, people get frustrated, and they it takes too much of your life, just like being on the phone in general can take way too much time. And these video games that people play endlessly, come on. And, Karen is hooked on the Suzanne Summers people, and there's been controversy there. I have a video up on it. You can see with Suzanne's beautiful face. Today, I think, is the day. She's been gone. She left us 2 years ago today. Suzanne Summers. I hope she's in the presence of God. Jody, Jack, take what? They opened up a new ice cream shop in my town that serves fresh mate ice cream. That sounds like a cannibal place to me, Jody. If they're selling people's mates, I'd be a little leery to to eat that. Yeah, well, I think I understood what you were talking about because we have a place like that here that's now closed because they don't certain places like Carvel and Dairy Queen are open all the time, of course. And in the case of Dairy Queen, they serve hot food. I don't want their hot food, I'm sorry to say. I don't think they're one of my sponsors here. I haven't seen a Dairy Queen commercial, but those chicken strips, their ice cream, when you've had Carvel, you don't go back if you can get it. But I realize so many of you, most of you can't get it. I mean, they don't have one in Las Vegas, do they, Vinny? They have a Carvel there. They sure should. Why wouldn't they? Um, how many how many seats does the Wayne Newton Theater hold? 200? I don't know. Have you seen Donny Osmond? He puts on a good show. He does. Go see Donny Osmond, Vinny. Don't think it threatens your sexuality. It doesn't. Donnie's really good. Um, Dolly had to postpone her residency. She's been going through something, but she did a video to make it clear she was not on her deathbed. Wasn't that the show years ago? You're on Candid Camera. I used to love Candid Camera with Alan Funt and then his son, Junior Funt. Can't think of his name. But yeah, I loved Alan Funt. I love that show. It's funny, you could never do a show like that today. Before he passed away, Art Linkletter said he could never, and this was even, this was years ago when he passed away. He said, I could never do kids say the darndest thing today because they'd be cursing telling these stories. They'd be saying, well, daddy said, that's things have changed in that area. Things have changed. Um, I love Candid Camera. I got to remember, you're a young man, Vinny. You're younger than me. So you never saw Alan Funt, huh? That was standard fare on the weekends here when my dad was alive and after my dad passed for a long time. Um, Todd Bradshaw said, yes, I do. I have 5 ferals that wait on the back porch. Also 2 raccoons that come up to the window screen in the kitchen. That's funny. They love marshmallows and hot dogs. Oh dear. Beautiful animals. They are my family here. Very, very good. Teresa Lee Leonard is talking to Neo. Vinny's talking to Todd Bradshaw. I love raccoons pretty, absolutely. Or handsome. They don't want to be called pretty if their name is, like Jim. My raccoon Jim. Thinking of My Girl Bill. Anybody remember that song from Jim Stafford? Jim Stafford. You could get a phone mount and a swing arm. I know that, Neil, but obviously this is just a temporary thing. I don't even have that in the car, though. I don't know. I don't. I would like to have for videos one of those arms, that you swing arm or whatever you want to call it, that you hold above your head. And, you can get a better video. But really, I would like an iPhone for better quality when I do these videos, especially when I do like a concert, because you end up you see the people with and I saw this last night with the iPhones, um, and they're shooting crystal clear video in a dark music hall. So that would be something that I would like to have, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I can't go that price. That's for sure. When we do go away, like we did for a day, we find a way to do it cheap. How about $126 for a country inn and suites in Albany, New York? It's just been renovated, and it beautiful, beautiful. I wish we had more than a day there, but we came in at 3 o'clock, and we left this morning at about almost 11 o'clock. We got every ounce of the time we had, and they had a nice breakfast in the morning. But anyway, let me close out the Bob Joyce comments, and I'll mention Albany. I see yellow here. Don't know quite what that is. Um, you have a swing arm and tablet. I know you're high tech, Neo. I know. I get it. Jack, in this setting, your eyes really pop. Yeah, don't say my eyes aren't blue. Don't it make your brown eyes? Don't it make your brown eyes? Don't it make your brown eyes blue? Crystal Gale, what beautiful hair, right? What beautiful hair. Never seen an all white skunk, I know. I never had either until this one. How about a giraffe with no spots? There's one out there now. No skunks or raccoons in this land down under, huh? Are you really down under, or do you just think you are? um, Ty Bradshaw says to Vinny, yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't me, maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. I love my animals, and I know you do. And every once in a while, a dog shows up, but we know that's Cookie, and we know she or he, I guess it's a she, lives 6 doors down, so we know where to bring the dog now. We didn't the first time. The cops came and took Cookie away, but got it back to its home pretty quick. Always good to see ya, right, Jupiter's Realm? Jody Smith, good question. What's a good question? Jack, I was wondering, does Pastor Bob have an assistant pastor? No, not to my knowledge. They talked about a youth pastor eventually in the new digs, or at least, if they go for the bigger church. I'm very confused about that. No, and he can't have a assistant pastor that would take his place. There's people that come from, let's face it, all over the United States, Canada, and foreign countries, and so they basically cancel service when Pastor Bob needs time off, and he doesn't take much time off at all. It's 1 or 2 weeks a year, it seems. That's all it is. I realize he's working one day a week, but there's a lot more associated to being a pastor, and I don't know. He probably has elders that help him with that. I would assume. Um, I know he wants a youth pastor, but only keep in mind only 25% of the congregation are usually the regulars, the people that live in the area. The rest are visitors. So here we have Coleman, Alabama. Back to that, and the capacity crowd and security is tight. You had to be searched going in, and there was cops present. There was his private people there, and you were asked to keep seated, and people rose to their feet to applaud. I mean, you got to expect that. At a gospel concert, you want to get up and praise the Lord and clap your hands. You don't rush the stage, but you want to be able to do that. So that was different. And then I'm told at the end of it, they escorted him out to a waiting police car and got him out of there. What do you do with stuff like this? What do you do when you hear that a member of Earth, Wind, and Fire is playing drums for Pastor Bob? I don't know what to do with that. And that's not verified. I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. But If it is Verdine White, wow, that's all I can say. I'm looking at a picture of Verdine. Does the guy playing drums look like him? Yes, but it's a common look. Um, the dreadlocks kind of thing, I guess. And but Verdine White is part of a group, a founding member, a part of the group that has done some of the most incredible pop soul that's ever hit the planet. I mean, we have to thank Earth, Wind, and Fire for those tunes because they are forever. They are forever. Well, what do I know? I'll be dead. If it's not forever, I was wrong. Don't hold it against me. That's what she said. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Oh dear. If me mum were here from Liverpool, England, she washed me mouth out with soap. She washed me mouth out with soap, and it would be ivory. Oh God. That's a special kind of awful in terms of being in your mouth. I'm nothing against ivory soap. I don't know if anybody buys it or if they even sell it anymore. It seems to have gone the way of licorice all sorts. I'm not being able to find them much anymore. I don't know. So let me scroll down here. Here's Horseshack, huh? From Welcome Back, Cotter. You look like Halloween. Well, here we go. This could be a problem, but we hope not. Because Horseshack was a nice guy, if you remember. Ron Padillo was his name, right? Maria Dunn. We're getting new people via phone. I'm not usually on the phone. I'm in my studio here, but we had a problem getting on and staying on YouTube. My tech guy, who's sleeping at the moment, will fix it, and by Saturday night at 10 p.m. East Coast time, we should be okay. I hope. All right. Jack, take Jody, I got to read this as you write it. Jack Take opened up. Why are you saying this about the ice cream again in my town? Or am I just reading an old, yeah, I'm reading an old post. I beg your pardon, Jody. I never promised you a rose garden. Just busted my little girl Chihuahua tapping into my girl cat's food. Oh, yeah. Too rich for her. Busted. I forgot to close the gate. Yeah, that happens all the time. That happens all the time. Sometimes we just have to, we see what happens. We just pull the food and put a cellophane and put it in the refrigerator. And then Karen wants to warm it up just a little bit when it is time to bring it back out. That's what she sneaks. Oh, they do sneak. And they're greedy, some of them. Some of them are greedy. Todd is talking to Helen McDonald from Australia. Well, work out a trade, raccoons and such. Have a trade there, trading animals, but no fee involved. If we can get some kangaroos, oh, I see, you want that. You're gonna have them go get your takeout food, aren't you, Todd? Maybe even do the midnight donut run, huh? Do the midnight donut run. What do you think about that? I stayed away from donuts during the trip this morning. Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about that. And just to wrap up Coleman, Alabama, we have a few quick excerpts up here of a few songs. So please watch those videos here at the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. Please subscribe and like if you haven't already. And fantastic. I mean, more slow songs than I would have liked. I would like some fast ones, but Pastor Bob follows the leading of the Holy Spirit, so it's that's what he does. And I heard kangaroos can be mean, says Vinny. I've heard the same thing, Vinny. I have. I definitely have. Jupiter's Realm. Phil Collins. Now you're talking. Yeah. Not doing too well, Phil. Won't be around too much longer, I don't think, and that's a shame. Aggressive, I should say. Yeah. Because they are food possessive. Like dogs tend to be very food possessive, right? We had an Akita that was the sweetest Akita, but if a cat tried to mess with her dog dish, yeah, she nipped at him a couple of times. Had to pull him apart quickly. Um, would you also like some wombats and how you say that? It can't be colas. I've heard of the animal you're talking about, but I never thought of how to pronounce it or how they pronounced it. We also have many highly venomous snakes. Oh, well, there's a lot of them in Congress and the Senate when you think about it. You're welcome to have them. 3 severed heads. The sermon last Sunday was great. Yeah. Yeah. He began by thanking everybody in Coleman, Alabama. He did. And I thought that was cool. No, Verdine White is not Bob Joyce's drummer. His name is Luther. Then he can't be from Earth, Wind, and Fire, according to the computer, because it says there's never been a Luther that played drums on Earth, Wind, and Fire. So what am I going to do with all this? 3 people told me it was Verdine White. One of them is, and they were all there. So what do I do? I obviously don't know myself, so I'm not questioning you. I'm just saying that I keep hearing Earth, Wind, and Fire. Somebody from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Now they went through a lot of drummers, and I'll check this further. Let's see here. Because drummers were not really members of Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's 4 guys that are the actual founding members of Earth, Wind, and Fire. So the drummers, let's see now. For Earth, Wind, and Fire, Maurice White. That sounds like that could be, although I heard it was Johnny, that Verdine's brother's Johnny, so who knows. Ralph Johnson, Sonny Amory, John Paris, Gary L. Morgan, and Gordon Campbell, who doesn't have a picture. He's the only one who doesn't. So that's supposedly the drummers that have ever played for Earth, Wind, and Fire. And let's see here. So there you go. Ringo certainly did. That's right, Jody. He did endorse Skechers shoes for a long time. I love Skechers. I have 3 pair. Yeah, 3 pair. Best pair of shoes I ever owned is the black pair that has Goodyear tires as the sole. Skechers. Best pair, comfortable, good. They don't slip, except on certain floors at Westchester Medical Center. I think they're looking for a lawsuit. I love ice cream, Vinny. That's a very controversial statement you're making there. Have you had the Haagen-Dazs? Have you, Vinny? How about the Haagen-Dazs? Well, of course, the chocolate peanut butter is fine. fine. But there's the nutty one, the vanilla ice cream with the nuts. Uh, I've almost got it. Pecan, right? Pecan ice cream from. And don't tell me Ben and Jerry's. That's for kids. They got more junk in that ice cream. They don't even own it anymore. Nah. When you've had Haagen Dazs, you can't go to Ben and Jerry's. I don't believe. So you would love Carvel here if you don't have one in Las Vegas, Vinny, or the other place you live. Here's Multipass. Werner Herzog. I know that name. Refresh my memory. It's not like I haven't heard that name. You're probably talking about something that was commented on here, maybe. Not everything is about the numbers, the likes, and the plays, says Multipass. No, that's true. But if you don't have viewers, you'll be in a small room talking to yourself. No creator wants to pour their heart and soul into something and you end up with 200 views or less, you know. And I'll be very honest that although I had some success with the late Bishop Carlton Pearson, who walked away from his faith in Jesus Christ, I had some success covering that, the curious case of Carlton Pearson. It wasn't until I discovered Bob Joyce, because I came late to the party in 2018, that I knew I had my signature topic that would get me an audience. Did I think 7 years later I'd still be doing it? Definitely not. So it's not about that, but I don't think any creator, because there are creators with 500,000 views and more. Tucker can get well over 1 million views, and some people can get millions of views, and they're getting paid per 1,000 views. So don't think that isn't helpful to life. Let's not pretend, especially like me, I'm in a retirement that is not enough, but that's not important because, you know, you use your talent and you hope that people respond to it, and you realize some can't. All I have here is a tip jar. That's what it is. There's two ways to use it. There's the thanks button here for any amount. And there's the Cash App, in lowercase letters, Media Guy 56, Media Guy 56. But I always say, don't ever tip if you can't afford it. Am I a good tipper? Yeah, I am. If I go to a restaurant and people are the waiter or waitress is engaged in doing their job, I want to tip more. Um, and that's just par for the course. So you want, when you feel that you have something to say, and I do try to talk about other topics. I'm going to do that again. I want to talk a little bit about this mad world that we're in, but Vinny doesn't want to hear about politics, so I'll keep it real short, Vinny. Cookies and cream and pistachio, that's what I meant to say, is even better. The pistachio, I knew that pecan wasn't right, although no, their pecan is great, but the pistachio, I have had very little success when I start eating that, then leaving then and then leave half of it still there for another time. I'm not good at that when it comes to certain ice creams, and that's one of them. Here we go, food again. Yeah. We love our treats, don't we? Spooky story guy. Fun fact: Korea has the longest unbroken chain of slavery in the world, lasting for approximately 1,500 years. One dictator. Are they all from the same family? Yeah, I guess I can understand that, but it would be true. Hey, chipmunks here in the desert, smart ones, no cat will get them. Well, cool. They probably took a course, Vinny. They probably took at least an online course, or they went to a school. I noticed the deer are smarter. They don't just jump in front of cars as much as they used to. They don't. It seems like And the cats are, like I told you about the one cat we have that we don't think is feral. He just breaks out of his house from time to time. We call him Roger Collins because he's white and he's blonde, like Roger Collins was from Dark Shadows. That's Louis Edmonds. German spaghetti is good. I don't know. I don't know if I've had it. New people, as we're doing the phone, we can't use our regular studio equipment because there's bats in my belfry. And there's a couple of wives that would definitely confirm that. Who's dead? And watch your tongue there, Paul. Who's dead? Yep, there's the Ringo comment. And of course, Maurice White is the founder of Earth, Wind, and Fire, right? He passed away 9 years ago, but Philip Bailey's still living, right? But Verdine is still the bass player, right? Okay. Also, a lot of the guys, including Phil Bailey, are from my hometown, Denver. I see. I see. So I'm only passing on to you in terms of the Verdine White thing, what a number of people told me. Um, I don't find a Leroy that played drums for Earth, Wind, and Fire, but who knows? Who knows? Um, so we'll talk more about Pastor Bob Joyce, and your comments are always welcome. I'm not saying topic is now closed, but we'll talk more when we're doing a regular studio video because there's more to say. But I'll say this much: I'm not looking to keep hammering all the oddities that happened in Coleman, Alabama, and what have you. It's one thing to tell a chronological story. Something happens, you got to make note of it. But I'm not looking. To do that, and that means the views will go down. So that's just the way it is. Um, Jackie's here. Hello, Jackie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Peanut butter parfait is one of my favorites. Sounds good to me. Jackie Organ also here from Australia, saying hello to former Australian person. Former. Well, I'm now saying you moved, Helen. Oh, a fellow or lady country mate Helen McDonald. Saying hello to each other. DQ is not healthy in the least. You have something I have never heard of. Tylamux is a little healthier. I probably pronounced that wrong. Same here. Wonderful stuff. What is in it, Todd? I'm wondering. They're talking food. Tucker, another Tucker that's not Carlson. Very good. Never thought about that before. Is there any other famous Tuckers? Can't think of one at the moment. Tucker, this is not the place for you. It's not the place for you. We're a family here, and I can report you later if you do that kind of stuff, but that's not the place here. But I'm on my phone right now. Candid Camera and Candid Camera were both interesting. Yeah, there were multiple versions over the years. Caramel chocolate and peanuts slathered in ice cream. Oh dear, we always make each other hungry. Smile, you're on Candid Camera was the theme song. Yep, it's going through my head right now. Well, look at that. 3 severed heads hits the thanks button for $10. I appreciate that. This is a strange night all the way through. So, thank you very, very much. Karen loves the psychedelic furs. I like them very much too. She likes them more than I do. And so she, we didn't get to do any vacation. She had her surgery. We didn't get to do our usual cheap vacation to Maine. So we, yesterday or Tuesday, right? Yeah, it was Tuesday. I'm right. Tuesday, we drove up to Albany, New York, which is like a 2-hour drive, and checked into the Country Inn and Suites up there. We found this incredible restaurant. If you're ever in downtown Albany, I don't know if I got any New Yorkers here, but it's called The Hollow. 3 different rooms Tuesday night. Now I know there were Psychedelic Furs fans there. Um, no room except at the bar. We were able to sit at the bar and eat there. And I had a Diet Pepsi. Karen had a ginger ale or something. And the Hollow is to die for. The wings look like the best wings in the world. Why didn't I order them? I don't know. But never seen wings that looked any better than that. I can tell you that. And everything was good there. It's a gold mine, that place, right on Broadway in Albany, New York. Make a reservation is my suggestion, even if it's a Tuesday or a Thursday night or something. And then we went up to the Palace Theater to see first Gary Newman, who's 67 years old now. He would be known basically, he has an audience of his album cuts, but basically he had one big pop hit, and that's Cars. Anybody remember the song Cars? You remember the riff. Do 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 Cars. Gary Newman started off in the 80s, and now he is 67 years old. We were about maybe 10 rows back. The guy looks to be 22. He has the body of a 22-year-old male. I don't know how he achieves this. I guess he always had a small body, and he's got a big mop of black hair. However, he's achieving this because it comes down, and he kind of looked like 27 being 67. And man, this guy works with his band from the time he gets out there. It's booming, almost feels like it's apocalypse music, that he's doing with the synthesizers, a drummer who's working his butt off. And it was powerful. I couldn't understand almost. I want to check the lyrics out of Gary Newman. David Bowie said of Gary Newman, I like Gary, but his message and the songs are pretty much the same. You've heard one, you've heard them all. So I'll have to check and see if I agree with Bowie. I probably would, because I loved David Bowie, and he was always changing it up. There's a big difference in, say, Rebel Rebel and what he was doing in the later part of his career. He totally changed it up. But there was always good songs to be found on a David Bowie album, even though I can't say I was into all his album cuts. I wasn't that much of a Bowie fan. I was more the pop hits. Loved David Bowie, and his last album was great. So that's how that goes. And we're coming up on what? Do I have a time? Does it give me the time on the phone? Yeah, 1 hour and 38 minutes. 1 hour and 38 minutes. 48 watching and 32 likes. Even though we couldn't use our regular studio equipment, this has been salvation, and you guys are certainly helping out. Vinny hits the Cash app for $50. So there you go. I mean, there's this core amount of people that helped me. So we kept it as cheap as we could. We found a room on Expedia.com. I had never used them before, but we found a room in a beautiful, newly remodeled Country Inn and Suites for $126. That's including everything. That because when you do Expedia, not that I'm doing a commercial for them, they give you the full total, and we got it for 126 bucks. That includes tax, and it includes the fee Expedia is going to charge. Um, and so it was great. It was a little bit off the beaten path. First, I thought, oh boy, we're in the ghetto, but we weren't. But a few blocks over, and you are in the heart of Albany. So we did that. A beautiful free breakfast in the morning this morning, and we went to see this Palace Theater. I can't tell you how gorgeous it is. I mean, they got bars. They're serving liquor, hardcore liquor with your popcorn and everything else. Didn't do any of that, of course. Didn't have anything there. But the tickets were reasonably priced. I was very happy with that. And Gary Newman came out and did an hour set with his band. And it was powerful. Got a heck of a response. The women seem to be in a frenzy. This is a 67-year-old that's getting the women in frenzy. You know anybody older like that can still get people in a frenzy? Things that make you go, hmm. And then after intermission, the Psychedelic Furs, who knew that they know they have a strong opening act, so they're gonna be at the top of their game, and they have a pretty heavy schedule. They'll be in tonight. They were in D.C. doing the same thing all over. Friday night, I think, is Massachusetts, and Saturday night is Brooklyn for the Psychedelic Furs with Gary Newman. And that's it for Gary Newman with the Furs, because they're going international with somebody else, and they'll be in Scotland, and they'll be in I think they'll be in England, probably London, and a few other places. France, they'll be in France. So there you go. If you get a chance to see the Psychedelic Furs, they did an extra long set because they got criticized for doing too short of a one the last time. It's time for a new studio album, guys. I'm not doing this again without a new studio album. So, yes, I've seen Donnie and Marie in concert 2 times, probably my first concert out of hundreds. They also made a movie together, Going Coconuts. I do remember something about that. I do. So there you go. Hey there, lonely girl. I still have my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Thought about that. Thought about the 17, but changed my mind. That's nice, Jack. I'm glad you and Karen got to enjoy a night out. Yeah, we got back here this afternoon about 1 o'clock. Less than less than a full tank of gas. I still have more than a quarter tank of gas round trip to Albany, New York. So it was very affordable. Um, Todd is talking to Jackie Organ from Australia. Met a nice guy. We'll see. I'm going to wait for you to come on here. His name is Nick. Met a nice guy. Karen and I were sitting at the bar having dinner, and this gentleman came in, and I'll tell that story when he's here. But he wanted, after I shared and I told him about the channel, he wanted me to write it all down. So I did. So hopefully we'll see Nick here sometime. That would be really cool in a live stream. Next one, Saturday night at 10 p.m. East Coast time. And the last I checked, Albany is East Coast time. It's only 2 hours up the road. So there you go. 49 watching right now. And I guess I got to go further down. Jack, if Pastor Bob was to go see the Lord, so to speak, would people stop going to the church because they're not going to see you know who anymore? Or would the call of the Lord be that strong? Local people would continue to go, but are people going to come in from other countries? It wouldn't make sense to them, you know. People are going to come in from New Jersey where they can find a great church closer. You know, it is a definite draw, and it wouldn't last past his death, I don't believe, in kind of anything like it is now. But again, people go there and they have an opportunity to be fed the Word of God, and that's how I look at it. I don't try to analyze it. Not everybody that goes to church, including those that go to Household of Faith, are going to have profound experiences. They don't want a profound experience, you know. Some go just because they think he used to be somebody else, and they walk away unchanged from the church. The Holy Spirit is a gentleman. He doesn't try to force his blessings, his presence down your throat. I love Doctor Who. Now we're talking movies, right? Oh, we got some new characters, don't we, tonight? That's all right. I love Barnabas Collins, the vampire. I can say that much. So I've been watching so many of the vintage Dark Shadows show. There was never a better vampire than Barnabas Collins. As I said it, including Bela Lugosi. No. Besides, half the time, Bella was high. So interesting that when I go on my phone, we get more new people than we normally would. I wonder why that is. Answer me that riddle. Oh, there you go, Jack. The Midnight Donut Run. It is time, isn't it? Apple fritters for everyone? Oh, Karen loves those apple fritters, so please don't forget her. Please don't forget her. Of course, she's a diabetic who cheats each and every day almost. It's well controlled by medication. Butterfinger, too. I just want a Butterfinger bar. I don't want it mixed into my ice cream or anything like that. Um, who was doing that around here? Somebody was advertising. Oh, down at Soon's Orchard, Butterfinger fudge. Give me a break. Give me a break. Keep it simple. Chocolate walnut, chocolate peanut butter, maple. Oh, maple with walnuts in it. It's heavenly. I don't need Butterfinger fudge. You know, I just don't. So let me go down here. Gloria Drummond, check out her channel. Jesus is the only answer. She's dozing off now, though. Thank you for joining us, Gloria. Appreciate that so much. We still buy the candy. I guess we're not going to get to a mad world tonight, and Vinny probably is happy about that, right, Vinny? We're at our 2-hour mark here. Luther doesn't have braids, so I don't think he played the concert. Who the heck is Luther anyway? Because I don't see Luther in Earth, Wind, and Fire, at least not the drummer. I didn't check every instrument, though, did I? So there you go. The drummer might have changed his name. Well, not if he was famous, though, you know. Oh, I mean, I see what you're going for. You know, trying to be incognito. No, they have too big of egos to do that, I think. Joseph Chavez is here. What do you think of your competition profiting off Pastor Bob? Oh, of course. He's got bills to pay too. I'm not going to go into a critique of some of the things I don't like. I've alluded to some stuff in general, but I'm not going to, you know, United States Marine, God bless you. The audience will decide whether it works or not. The audience will decide. And believe me, I have tried to give up the Bob Joyce topic. I was sincere about it, and the audience let me know that they loved it too much. So then I have to make a decision. Do I want to end the channel, have 200 people watching the videos? What do I want to do, you know? And so I decided keep doing it, but try to keep it as positive as you can. We're telling the chronological story, though. So there you go. Now Rocky Mountain wants ice cream. It's the power of suggestion. It's the power of suggestion. Almond Joy is always good, Elaine. Oh, yes, that's a good candy bar right there. I don't like that other one with the dark chocolate. I'm not really a big dark chocolate fan unless it's a York peppermint patty or Junior Mints, which is the same thing. Larry Dunn and Philip Bailey are also from Denver. That's cool. Yeah, they attempted, they attended, they attempted East High School. I attempted high school and flunked. That's why I have a GED. They attended high school. The original musical director, Earth, Wind, and Fire, married my cousin. Really? Isn't that interesting? I keep gotta go to the. If I missed your comment, it's harder to check them out here. Robin Roman says Luther is quite the character. And did he play drums at Coleman, Alabama? Oh boy. Favorite episode. Liddy has good jelly donuts. Never heard of them. My favorite episode is Blink. Favorite episode of all time. And what was that show? Whoops. Hit the wrong thing here. Be careful. So, thanks again, all those who hit the thanks button. It was Jody, and it was it Miles? I'm trying to remember now. Thank you, Vinny, Todd, Jupiter's Realm, and Elaine Peterson for hitting the Cash App. I appreciate that so much. Believe me, the budget is meager here. And when I do go out and have a little fun, we find ways to do it pretty economically. And who did I get a gift from when I came back waiting for me? Who gave me a nice gift and didn't give Karen one? Governor Kathy Hochul. New Yorkers who filed taxes last year are getting anywhere between $200 and $400. Depends if you have a family, young people, whatever, and I don't. So there was a check from Kathy Hochul for $200 waiting for me. I think I'm going to use part of that and give it to Karen for her WMC medical bill for her copay. I just gotta, share the wealth because I don't think she's going to get one. I don't think she's going to get one. Isn't that funny? And so that's our Wednesday via phone edition of Worldwide Ramblings. Hopefully we'll be back Saturday night at 10 p.m. East Coast time. Thank you, everybody. Pray for Brenda. 6 a.m. She's going to be in the hospital having another operation. It is now today, Thursday. So keep her in your prayer, all right? In your prayers. And Adam Davidson, who was here earlier, and Marianne Rossi. And there's more, whatever God lays on your heart. What show was this? Oh, here's John Paul Cunningham at the last minute. Just stopped in to see what condition my condition was in. It's in tip-top shape, John Paul Cunningham. We know you can't always be here on time. We understand. There's always the replay. A phone version here, as we have bats in our belfry that Andy has to work out. Just stop by to say hi and good night. Well, cool. There was a bumper sticker that said "Bad Cop, No Donut." I love it. Yeah, one of the DJs at my first station, Nick Syracuse, one of the jokes he used on the air, saying that the Fredonia police have opened up a secondary headquarters, and it's at Mr. Donut. I remember that was his line. That's enough to get slapped upside the head. Doctor Who was a TV show then? See what little I know. Somehow that escaped me. Jack, I did not like school. It was not cool. A bunch of bullies. Even for you, huh? Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I remember the bullies. I remember funny, um, one bully that I had in junior high school, and then I quit school, would eventually take my GED. Not, in fact, I took it before my class graduated. I had my GED before they had their high school diploma. But there was a guy named Gary that was one of the bullies that seemed to like to come against me. And then fast forward a year or two later, I'm the crew manager at McDonald's and he's an employee and he's as nice as can be to me. It's like we became friends, you know. My hat said manager, but I was just a crew chief. I did the inventory at the end of the night. I couldn't do the other stuff. That would have involved math that was foreign to me. Thank you for watching. Oh, we came back there. In and out. Thank you for watching Worldwide Ramblings, everybody. Hope to see you Saturday night. Jack Willard saying a big God bless you. Bye bye.